What's up, guys? Hey, wanted to just comment on this absolutely ludicrous lawsuit. The NAR has been found guilty of colluding with brokerages, major brokerages, and basically price fixing is what they're trying to say, saying that they have been price fixing on commissions and that commissions are too high and that it's unfair for sellers to be paying the buyer's agent's commissions, which is not the case, and I'll explain why here in a minute. But I wanted to just react to this video here because it's crazy. So let's just take a look and let's see what they're talking about here.
Where we go from here? Joining us now on set is Beth Friedman. She is the CEO of Brown Harris Stevens and a member of the National Association of Realtors, and Michael Ketchmark,
let's see,
the lead attorney of that lawsuit representing 500,000.
This guy here, look at that face.
Michael, thank you for joining us here. First to you,
okay.
Michael, what is big settlement here? 1.8 or verdict, I should say, $1.8 billion. First up, where does that money go? Is money going to be kicked back to people who bought homes, or where?
Sure. I mean, we view it as a day of accountability. And I told the jury, this case is simple. It comes down to premises I learned when I was in kindergarten. If you take something that doesn't belong to you, you give it back.
It's insane that this even...
That were the victims of this rigged system. It's been going on in our country for about 100 years, and it stops today. And we're going to hold these corporate real estate companies and National Association of Realtors accountable for their conduct.
And I understand you are
accountable for their conduct. This guy is insane.
Yeah, the day that the minute that verdict came in, we filed a lawsuit against the National Association of Realtors and these other large
realtors.
companies to bring the same
it's realtors.
And we expect the damages in those cases to be in excess of $100 billion.
This guy is crazy. It's all, hold on, let me pause it. This is all a money grab, okay? I mean, and that's, you know, this lawyer here, and I have a lot of friends that are attorneys, and this lawyer is the prime example of why attorneys have such a bad rap, okay? It's all about the money for them, right? And what he's not saying is that the attorneys have a, how should I say this? Their commissions, what they typically make in a case, if it's an attorney like this, around 40% is what I've read and researched and talked to people, is around 30 to 40%, right? That's what they make in lawsuits and their earnings. And so let's hear what he says here.
$50 billion a year in wealth that's being taken out of the pockets of homeowners and transferred over to these corporate machines that have taken over real estate, and it's got to stop.
Corporate machines.
Takes in almost a quarter.
Even the host is like, what?
From local real estate agents because they have a stranglehold on the market. And
that's okay, Michael. But that's the NAR. He's talking about the NAR, National Association of Realtors, which you are a member.
Yep.
But you know, are you a corporate machine?
No, we are not, and I can't comment on the lawsuit because it was in Missouri, so I'm not going to talk about that.
Well, you can, but okay.
Is that the majority of all real estate transactions are done with two agents, a buyer's agent and a seller's agent. And
that's right, most of the time.
I think is completely untrue. It takes
away
from the fact that the buyer's agent adds incredible value to the transaction. And so I think the narrative out there, the Wall Street Journal had an article where they referred to NAR as a cartel. It's ridiculous. And I think there's hardworking agents who are out there representing buyers every day. This totally takes away from that. And I think it's unfortunate. It's the wrong narrative. Because we work together. It's cooperation. You get the best price when everybody works together.
And I'm sure, Beth, the people that obviously you're selling a home, you'd like to pay as little as you could. I mean,
of course. Who wouldn't, right?
Whatever the asset class is. For most people, including myself, I will never buy anything more expensive than my home. This is the most complex financial transaction that most of us will ever go through.
That's right.
Which he makes a good point here as, you know, some people, they want to for sale by owner, or they want to buy something without an agent. I mean, to me, I get like blown away by that because I don't think people understand how valuable I'm not just saying that because I'm a realtor, but I don't think people understand how valuable a real estate agent is during a transaction. I mean, I'm talking about the knowledge, if they're a good agent, right? There's a ton of terrible agents out there, and that's part of the problem with our industry. But if they're good agents, it's like me going to court without an attorney. Like, why would you buy or sell without a professional? I mean, I could go to court and represent myself, but why would I do that? Just to save a couple of dollars when the outcome could be catastrophic, right? And so that's whatever. That's just my little rant. But I mean, to me, I'm always blown away by that.
And that's why, you have someone, if you're selling your home, you hire someone to represent you. They're your fiduciary.
Yep.
And also buyers want somebody to represent them, to talk to them about the pros and the...
Fiduciary, just if you don't know, fiduciary means that I have your best, it's a binding agreement that's basically saying that I have to operate and work within your best interest, not my own best interest, not the other party's best interest, with your best interest. Okay.
Cons, the neighborhood, the financing, everything. So you want to have two people, just like you would in a divorce, you want to have two people on the side of the transaction.
Well, hopefully this is more of a marriage than a divorce,
but it can be a divorce,
So Michael, is your beef with the NAR? Is it with the compensation structure? Do you think that, and we've talked before, that there shouldn't be a buyer's agent, or if they do, the buyer's agent should not be paid by the seller, because that may be the conflict, and maybe if you're a buyer,
please tell us.
Your buyer's agent.
We got nothing against buyer's agents. I think they're awesome.
This guy.
The person they should pay for is the person they're working for. With this member of the National Association of Realtors, she just gave away the case. She said you have competitors who are working together. They're colluding together to fix the prices. It's 6%. I mean, that's what's happening. That's what the jury heard 2 weeks of evidence of. We revealed the documents, we revealed the videotapes, we revealed all of the emails. And the CEO of the NAR...
Okay, first I want to say this. I haven't seen all the evidence or the trial, but obviously the verdict went into the favor of the plaintiffs, and but I don't know how. So here's the thing, and let me explain this as a listing agent. Oftentimes, when I go to sell a house, right, and I meet with my client, and I say, okay, Mr. Client, I'm going to sell your house, and to do that, I'm going to charge 6%, right? That's the industry standard. It's all negotiable, but that's what I charge. In certain situations, it could be different, but we'll just leave it at 6%. I'm going to charge you 6% to sell your house, right? That covers my marketing expenses, my expertise, my time, etc. That's 6%. Now, 90% of the time, another buyer has a buyer's agent that agent brings a buyer to the property and says, my buyer wants to buy your listing. And I, as a 6% commission comes to me, choose to pay this buyer's broker whatever I choose to pay them. Could be the other half, it could be 3%, half of the 6, could be 2%, whatever it is. That is my choice, because that is what I choose to do. Now, I could choose to not pay the buyer's agent, and that at the detriment of my seller. If I'm going to bring the buyer, it could take a lot longer, etc. I don't do that because obviously I have a fiduciary to get the best price and the best amount of time for my seller. So I choose that. So the seller is not paying the buyer's agent. The seller's paying me. I'm paying the buyer's agent. I don't know how they didn't argue this fact, and how it, didn't get I just don't know how this case went in favor of the plaintiffs, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and listen a little bit more.
In trial, and took the stand, and we exposed him for what he is. It is a cartel. It's a cartel.
A cartel.
I really take offense at that. It is not a cartel.
I'm sure you do. And
So basically, in this context, a cartel, when I heard that, I'm like, a drug cartel? What? It's basically just driving the prices up and price fixing. So he's saying that the NAR is price fixing. And this could be argued with tons of different industries, including his industry. You know, like financial advisors is the standard is what, like 1%, I think. Attorneys is like 40%. Real estate is 6%. Doesn't mean it's not negotiable, but that's kind of what, you know, is standard, and it has been for many decades. And the system is not broke, so why fix it? It works most effectively this way.
Well, because listen, it worked for a long time. There was no co-broking. You know what that does? A disservice to the consumer.
Absolutely.
It's really offensive, and it is not a cartel. I'm just telling you, it is not a cartel.
Can you answer this question for me?
Yes.
Why are the commissions in the United States 2 to 3 times higher than the rest of the industrial?
Listen, all commissions are negotiable. You can.
Well, first of all, the United States isn't other countries. I mean, what? That's the stupidest argument I've ever heard. The United States doesn't have to be like other countries. So why are you equating our structure to other countries' structure? It makes no sense. I don't know why she couldn't defend it that way, but whatever.
Negotiate them at any time. There's nothing written in stone.
The jury heard videotaped evidence that they negotiate from 6%, but they only go up.
Oh my God, that is so not true, guys. So not true. Anyways, wanted to just, you know, talk about this because it's crazy. I cannot believe that that this lawsuit went in favor of the plaintiffs. Now, I will say this: there's already appeals. Could be years before any changes are going to be made. Years. Not only that, but I don't think anything will be changed hardly at all. I think it will be business as usual, as it should be. I think this attorney is going to make a couple of dollars because other firms have settled already because they just don't want to fight it because it's ludicrous. But anywho, I don't know. I'm just saying that I don't think anything's going to change out of this deal. I think it's all just a money grab for these attorneys. The system works just how it is. Has been for many decades. Not broke. Don't fix it. Love you guys. Bye.